Child's pose is everyone's favorite. And how's it get any better? Restorative child's pose. So let's look at our props. We have a big, thick bolster here to start. We're going to bring the toes together and the knees apart for wide-kneed child's pose. And then we'll take the big bolster and pull it as far into the hips as we can. And simply lay the chest down, turning the head to the side and allowing the forearms to rest palms up or palms down, whatever is comfortable for you. Now, if you don't have a big bolster, a big thin bolster would work as well, or even a folded up blanket, and 2 blocks. So we'll take 1 block on the second height, the other block on the top height. Knees are wide, and then the bolster goes right into the lower belly, leaning on top of that lower block, and then the upper block, and the head rests either on the top height or the second height, depending on your flexibility. Now we can add another really lovely element to this, and that is a rolled up blanket from the 8th fold, rolling up lengthwise, and then adding it right into the lower belly to compress the organs, and then lengthening the spine, folding forward, and either having that head up a little higher or lowering. Adjust the blocks however you need to. Here's a wonderful variation for child's pose, starting with the knees and ankles together. We'll inhale the arm up and then threading it through to access more of the 3rd chakra in this pose. And then inhale the other arm up towards the sky as the head rests on the ground. Internally rotate that shoulder and let the arm drape behind you. If your head is not easily touching the floor, you can always put a block underneath of the head for added height. And then coming back into the pose, that top arm internally rotates at the shoulder, and you can even tuck those fingertips on the inside of the hip crease for a half bind. And then when you're ready to come out of the pose, release the hand down to support you as you come back to center. Now let's see the deepening of this twist. Knees are together, hips sit back on the heels, and then the same arm tucks underneath. The head is on the block, and that arm wraps around, internally rotating at the shoulder for the half bind. Now let's see this pose from the other side. So taking the arm up, threading it underneath, and then my head feels comfortable going to the ground here. We'll take the other arm up, internally rotate the shoulder, and then if you can, tuck the hand on the inside of that thigh or that hip crease, creating a half bind. If it's uncomfortable to go that far, just let the hand rest on the outside of the hip. For an added stretch, take that arm all the way in front of you with a straight arm to increase the shoulder's flexibility. Now let's see the tighter twist. Bringing the knees forward, hips sit back on the heels. Block is underneath to catch that head, and the arm threads under. Top arm internally rotates and perhaps tucks on the inside of the hip. Another wonderful version of this pose is with the knees and the ankles together, with the hips back on the heels. Arms reach forward first and then walk them to one side. Take the inner hand and place it on the outer hand to increase the stretch that's all the way along the side body. And breathe in this posture before heading back to the center and then exploring the other side. Inner hand goes on top of the outer hand and head releases. And when you're finished with this pose, always returning back to the center before allowing the shoulders to release with the arms back by the feet. The final variation for child's pose we'll see on our backs using a big looped belt. So ensure that that belt is around the shins and around the upper back. Once we get it relatively in place, we can come onto the back and begin tightening the strap so that the knees are actually compressed as tightly as they can be into the chest. The knees and the feet are together, and if the belt is too low on the back, we're going to feel as though we need to hold the legs in place. So if they feel as though your legs are working in this pose, move the belt a little higher. And then once they're ready, rest your arms and enjoy. To come out of this pose, very simply reach up and take a hold of the strap and releasing the legs so that the feet can lower. Separate the feet and windshield wiper the knees to bring a little bit more blood flow into the hips. When adjusting child's pose, start on your knees behind them, placing your hands in a V, and track the sacrum down at an angle back towards you. This lengthens the spine. You can also turn the heel of the hands around, but ensure that the fingertips are not in touch with their glutes. To deepen this pose, tuck the heel of your hands into the hip crease and lean the shoulders over the wrists. For a more sophisticated adjustment, place the knee on the sacrum, but ensure that it's tracking back towards you as you lengthen the spine on either side up towards their head, releasing their neck with your fingertips. And then we'll do a smoothing of the arms and the back, releasing the nervous system, any holding, any tension, and then coming around to the front to do the same, starting behind the heart, releasing down the arms, and then perhaps sliding the hands forward if they need some more space. Notice my body mechanics to protect my back as I have one knee down and one foot up. If the student has turned their head to the side, a wonderful adjustment is bringing awareness through Reiki energy, placing one hand on their crown gently and one hand on their upper back, connecting the wisdom of their head to the heart. Another hand position is right behind each shoulder, and then you can finish it up by smoothing out the arms again. Placing the hand on their hand, helping to ground them. Another position is keeping one hand on the head and then moving that top hand down behind the solar plexus. And if we want to go further, come to the side so you have a little bit more support for your back. One hand on the head, one hand on the sacral area, connecting the crown and the second chakra. Great adjusting.